Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. It can only be a quick one, don't have too much time, but I still wanted to keep you updated because Solana did break above that $105 level. That was the key level that we mentioned in the last video. There you go. Can see that. We saw in the last video, we saw that bearish pattern here to the downside. We saw the other bearish pattern that also broke to the downside. It actually moved all the way down after breaking out of that ascending wedge, broadening ascending wedge. We saw that one breaking out of the broadening ascending wedge. And typically what you get is with the broadening ascending wedge, typically the price target is the beginning of the wedge. So that first one here reached definitely the beginning of the wedge, even a little bit lower. The second one, when that broke out of the wedge here, it reached, nearly that beginning of the wedge. But it was bought up very quickly, okay? So obviously these were only very, very small wedges, but typically, as I say, the first target is the beginning of the wedge, and this one missed it by, 98, did get down to 98.80. The beginning of the wedge where the candles closed was 98.45, so that was very, very close. To the real beginning of the wedge was 97.78, so it got very, very close anyway. And from here it was then ready to start again. Especially as it did hold here, where the 4-hour candles closed, you can see it did hold above that fib level in the end, yeah. And from here it then started to keep going, especially when Bitcoin started to pump. So it moved above that $105 level. That was the very important one that we talked about in the previous video here. $105, resistance here, support here, and so on. So it's a very, very important level. Broke above it. Told you when we get above 105, that is an important level, especially as here we saw a retest of the $105 level on the 4-hour chart. Perfect. That is what you want. You want the retest, you want increased volume, and we see, okay, maybe not too much increased volume, but it is gone up a little bit, plus that 4-hour candle confirmation and the retest, and then we started to move up from here all the way to $112 nearly. So I think Solana seems to be holding that. The daily candle closed as well above that level. Or let's take a look. Did the daily candle close? Yes, it did. Daily candle closed above $105 level. So from here it can now go to the next resistance. But I also mentioned that already in the last video, which is $122. We saw the bullish momentum on the chart developing anyway already. In the short term, it looked a bit bearish, and it did break to the downside, those patterns. But obviously we have, if we zoom out here, we had that higher level pattern, which was down here, that descending wedge. It did break out of it, and the target for that wedge is that $122 level. As I said, the beginning of the wedge is typically the price target, so that would be the first one. This is really the short-term view. Of course, Solana has more upside potential, but this is the first target for anybody who likes that short-term view. Then we've got the $122 level, and after that, the next main target would be the $158. Generally, the indicators are showing bullishness. We can see on the 4-day chart, we talked about it, that bullish momentum here, bullish crossover. Had a comment of someone who actually is apparently sold below $105 and thought the price are going to drop, but then I'm a bit skeptical about selling to buy back lower. I always said that, especially if you're close to the end of the correction, or you might have already finished the correction, especially also if you have on the 4-day chart here a bullish crossover, which I highlighted as really actually bullish signal throughout here. What we don't have yet is that long signal on the ADX and DI, but I'm pretty sure if Solana is holding that level, we'll have it. The weekly already shows that long signal here, but the weekly does not show yet a bullish crossover on the MACD. But generally we can see here that Solana is trying to catch up, and I would be confident that we can now reach the $122 level. Maybe not in a straight line, maybe you have a bit of up and down. Always remember that. Also, this move up here from around $81 all the way up to $122, what we did before, did not move in a straight line. Okay, just be aware of that. And that's my view here on Solana. Just a quick update. As I said, we'll keep you updated going forward, of course. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.